Okay, I had to make a video about Tisa Tells, and there's currently a lot of misinformation floating around about her. There's a lot of shade being thrown her way, and people do not do their research. I used to watch Tisa Tells a long time ago when she used to do this avatar thing. To be honest with you, she brought me some great moments of entertainment on YouTube. And I just kind of liked her vibe, such as when she interviewed Fallon Pinner from Real Housewives of Atlanta, who was a cast member married to Simon Gadaboulia. And then Simon slid into Portia's DMs and then they got together as a couple. So in this interview, Fallon exposed Simon for being not as rich as he made out and using Airbnbs when he said he owned their house. And I didn't know too much about Real Housewives, but I had started watching commentary about it, and this kind of content opened my eyes to what a scam fest it actually was. Tisa then went on to expose Simon for paying for his fake PR articles. She found the actual agency he used that would write and post articles about you to make you look like a public figure for like $150. And then she reported on the story of the cast members using crisis PR that would make fake rage bait comments to distract from any bad press that someone in the cast might be getting. And this was way before anyone knew what astroturfing was. So yeah, I found her very entertaining and innovative. And then there was her live when Ray J went live and exposed that Kris Jenner had brokered the Kim Kardashian sex tape deal, and he showed the contract, and there were 3 versions. That was very entertaining. And to be fair, Tisa, she does love getting down in the mess. What I wasn't so keen on was when she would just come on and read tabloid articles. She has a very good screen presence and she is a beautiful girl, but I wasn't really interested in all the Kardashian stuff. She did report on the Megan Thee Stallion trial, and it was very clear that she stood up for women and victims and stood against misogyny. And that's where I was drawn in, because I love to see a woman doing that, and I like to watch female content creators and black female content creators. So then when Cassie dropped her lawsuit in October 23, she fully got behind the P. Diddy story. She would read through all the court documents, and I think it was the first person to report on Jonathan Oddi, who we now know was one of Cassie and Diddy's sex workers named in the trial. And I remember she did a live after his police interrogation interview had gone viral that said he was dead.
Hey, what's up, guys? Listen, thank you for joining me so late. I had to do this live. If you guys were on live earlier with me, you know I received a phone call from one of my sources, okay? Like I said, John Oddi, if you guys have not watched the last live, I'll bring you up to speed really quick. He is the first male that has gone on record and said that he was part of what Cassie described in the lawsuit as a freak-off. You guys have to remember that he gave this statement in 2017. Why was he talking to the police? Because he had walked into a Trump, the hotel, and just started.
So this is why I'm making this video, because I had to go back and check for myself. There's a video someone has made saying Tisa said in this video that P. Diddy had killed Jonathan Oddi, and it's not true. What she said was that after she did the live about his police interrogation interview, she had a phone call, and it was someone letting her know about these articles online that were obituaries saying he was dead. So in this video, she shows us the obituary articles, which turn out to be like clickbait spam, and then she's like, well, who would pay for this? And I think it's when someone goes viral, there's like scammers that want you to click on the link, so they use that person's name as a clickbait title and sell you a product. I don't think it had anything to do with P. Diddy, nor did she say that P. Diddy was responsible for Jonathan Oddi's death in this video. So that person needs to get their facts straight, because I've seen at least 3 videos using that video as a source that Tisa's a liar.
Why did this actually pop up? Hold on, let's go through the blogs. Let me walk you guys through, because this is super important. Jonathan Oddi obituary, lifelong resident, right? The tragic loss of Jonathan Oddi, a beloved resident of Doral, Florida, on December 15, 2023, has left an emptiness, right? that is difficult to get by. Jonathan Oddi, right? This is other things that come up when you search. Police neutralize gunmen who fired shots at Trump fired shots inside Trump National Doral, Miami. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get this out. My adrenaline is flowing, right? You even go to YouTube. Just follow me on this. You go to YouTube. There are reports Jonathan Oddi obituary, Doral, Florida. Jonathan Oddi has died. You see pictures of car accidents. There's other stuff off of YouTube. Jonathan Oddi obituary, Doral, Florida. Jonathan Oddi has died. However, and this is the thing, when I started to say, what is going on? What is going on? Because here's the thing. I tried to confirm whether Jonathan Oddi had actually passed away. There's even obituaries in South African sites. If you guys don't know, he is from South Africa. He just became a U.S. citizen. I don't know. Well, before he shot up the corral, right? So, you know me. I tried to do as thorough research as I could. Things are about to get weird, guys, okay? But in a very, listen, lock the doors if you're staying there yourself. Things are about to get weird, okay? So, Jonathan Oddi, when you click on one of the things that Jonathan Oddi's obituary, Doral, Florida, Jonathan Oddi has passed, this is what comes up when you actually click on the YouTube links. Watch.
अफसोसनाक खबर जो निकल के सामने आ गई है, खबर कोई जाना चाहता है। बहुत ही बड़ी जानी मानी शख्सियत का जो है इंतकाल हो गया है। सो इनका इंतकाल कैसे हुआ है, क्यों हुआ है, किस टाइम हुआ है?
Yeah, you guys, hold on. Yeah, that's what I said. That's the first time when I was like, what is going on? Why are there all these links on YouTube saying this man passed away and there's even this and that? But forget about that, because you're right. That could be hoax. But where are all these planted stories coming from that he passed away when we're actually trying to get some of the obituary? I came across this, right? Jonathan Oddi, obituary, Doral, Florida. Resident Jonathan Oddi has died, and they go into how he passed away. Okay. They're saying this mysterious. It's unclear. Okay. The more I start diving into sites, you start getting this. You know, the little system is heavily damaged by 2 viruses. Click on it. It's like, ain't nobody slow. Move on, right? However, Jonathan Oddi obituary, cause of death. Jacob Emanuel wrote about it December 15. Despite its theoretical nature, John Oddi's obituary received substantial attention following the Trump National Doral Miami event. Jonathan Oddi has recently achieved attention following a distressing incident at Trump Doral Miami. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm screenshotting this because it has been all over the internet. John Oddi gone, John Oddi gone, John Oddi gone. However, right? However, the thing that really kind of chilled me is the fact that when I tried to go to Doral, Florida's actual funeral homes and also to the county state morgue site, I couldn't find any record of Jonathan Oddi dying, even though all these things said. And that's when it clicked in my head. We're about to go on a ride, you guys. And I did some research and I want to know what you guys think, because it's concerning.
A lot of people in the live chat were saying the reports were fake or it was a hoax. She never definitively said she could find proof either way. And a lot of people suggested he might have gone into witness protection and that he might have used these statements and evidence he had against P. Diddy. This was back in 2023. P. Diddy had not even been arrested then.
Either Jonathan Oddi actually has passed away, and it said in the obituaries that he was deleted, blah, 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 blah. It's unclear, blah, blah, blah. All right? There's only 2 things that could be going on. Either Jonathan Oddi has passed and my detective skills just aren't what they are, or somebody or people want us to believe that Jonathan Oddi has passed, even going so far as to plant fake videos on YouTube where the thumbnail looks like a horrible car crash or something or other. It's weird, guys. It's getting weird. So then I started going down the rabbit hole and I started thinking, why would anybody want us believe that Jonathan Oddi was dead? Now, I know what you're saying. People on the internet do death hoax all the time, except for a couple of things. Jonathan Oddi is not famous like that. Yes, we're a little niche on YouTube being nosy and going down that, but he does not rank in national news. He does not, like, you see what I'm saying? This is a lot of time, effort, and money that somebody would have to spend to pull a prank. And Jonathan Oddi, okay? Who wants to dox the internet that bad that you're gonna put in money, planning stories, doing this? The YouTube videos, yeah, okay, fine, that might be easy. But even on the upload, your channel can get struck. It can be pulled down. You don't just upload stuff on the YouTube. You feel what I'm saying? All right. Lori, I do want to say, I think it's unclear whether he passed or not. Because like I said, I reached out to my connects in South Florida, right? However, this is to your point, Lori. I think it's equally as scary or disturbing the other option that people want us to think that he passed. People want us to believe that he passed. Now, you could argue maybe this is Jonathan Oddi himself because he did go crazy and he wants us to think he's passed, but I don't know. Because when you look at his social media profile, he's been largely silent.
So I watched the video pretty much all the way through, and I want to know where she said anything about where P. Diddy is linked to his death. What she did say was that he worked at the Dancing Bear Club in Miami that the police used to frequent as members, and that they might have turned a blind eye to criminal activity, and that another guy that had worked there gone crazy, and that maybe this had something to do with the Illuminati. So it's obviously a mixture of a little bit of research with a lot of speculation thrown in. It's like an open discussion. And I felt like she did give us a lot of background information, like on Ron Burkle, one of Diddy's financial backers. But let's be honest, Tisa was always about gossip. And I actually stopped watching her when she started reporting on the Jay-Z allegations, which were obviously not true. I don't understand why she can't see through Tony Busby. I don't know why she doesn't pull up the research on him instead of wanting to make Jay-Z look guilty. If you want to talk about smear campaigns, he was the one that got everyone thinking that Diddy was into minors, but somehow everyone's forgotten about that. And then she was leaning into the tunnels conspiracy. So yeah, I was just like, yeah, not for me anymore. And then during the trial, because I was so disappointed with everyone else's coverage, I thought I'd give her another try. I saw that she was being asked to go on live TV, and I thought, fair play. I don't understand why YouTubers want to be on TV so badly. For one thing, you're definitely not a journalist. And the thing is about YouTube is it's meant to be an alternative to mainstream TV. That's what they always tell us. So why do you all want to go on mainstream TV? YouTube gets more viewers than TV these days, so they want a piece of that audience. And then I think she went on an interview with Nancy Grace. Is Nancy Grace on TV? I don't know, but apparently they're getting sued. Anyway, there's something very deranged about Nancy Grace's eyes. And I heard that there was rumours that Tisa had doxed Mia's name, Diddy's former assistant. There was some speculation and the court made an announcement. Anyone who doxed an anonymous witness's name would not be allowed in. So imagine my surprise when I'm watching her live stream and she's only gone and said the Jane Doe's name. And someone screen recorded it and posted it, and you can see in the live chat where they are alerting her. She ends the video.
Diddy, while he's sitting next to the girl he's supposed to be talking to, is texting Daphne, yo, you okay? I want to take you out. Let me take you out. And this is during the movie, right? And again, Diddy was around so many women that look just like that. What's it? Daphne? No, we're playing Scooby-Doo, right? There's Thelma, there's Thelma, there's Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, Bert and Ernie. Hold on a second really quick. Hello?
And the thing is, she did not own it. She tried to make a joke out of it. And when your whole channel is holding celebrities accountable and exposing their mess, and you're advocating for victims, you also have to be held accountable. And that's why people are upset, because instead of doing that, her audience, her mods, her fan base were trying to cover it up. And if you surround yourself with only yes men, that's how you get corruption. And now she's become the topic on YouTube, where people are saying she's getting paid and she's spreading misinformation, and even that she's working for the prosecution.
Oh, these broke niggas is mad.
I'm broke. Me broke? You think I'm broke?
Oh, hey, Armand.
At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, excuse me, can you please?
You're a liar. You are a liar, Tisa.
What?
Liar, Tisa.
They told us that we will, listen, at the end of the day, we have done what we can. This shows that these people care more about.
As you were for the prosecution, to tell lies on social media. She's a federal informant.
Y'all, I work for the feds.
See, just pointing out that she makes mistakes, she got things wrong, she was just speculating like the entire rest of the internet. That wasn't enough of a story. Now it's turned into she works for the feds, which doesn't even make sense because the feds didn't win this case. And these channels saying that she's working for the feds when they have zero evidence, calling her a liar. Are you serious? It is very uncomfortable watching these men, and there's a woman there. Tisa's a good looking woman. She has a lot of viewers. Some women are jealous of that. It's very uncomfortable, and I do not blame her for having the security there and putting the fences around her, because they're really harassing her during her live stream because she did not support P. Diddy and they did. And now they're saying she has to apologize to his family for lying and bullying them. Are you for real? Would you mind going over to Tony Busby's channel and asking him to apologize for starting the rumors that P. Diddy was messing with minors? What about all the rumors about Justin Bieber and Usher and all the female sex workers going to the parties when it was really just Diddy with a hijab on, employing psychotic male sex workers and playing with himself in the corner? Meanwhile, recording videos, which if the prosecution had labelled this differently, could have been very easily named as Revenge P. So why are you not mad that a man who has made money from exploiting black people's talent, who made sure his white employees were very well paid, like Brendan Paul and George Kaplan, who said he still respects Diddy, although he ignored his invite to his wedding, and has caused misery to so many people throughout his life and made them relive it through this trial? Why are you celebrating that? If anyone should be apologizing to his family, it's him. Letting his kids have to listen to that.
You gained your momentum off the lies you told on P. Diddy. Now go back and apologize to her family for lying.
She also lied on Jonathan Majors
And she's full of Robinson.
She hates black men.
She hates black people.
And look at all the cameras.
They don't like black
This is very uncomfortable for her. It's a lot going on. She.
Men out here trying to bully women.
bullying you. You bullied Diddy. You bullied his family. You bullied Diddy's entire family. You bullied Diddy's entire family.
So listen, let's get back into
Yeah,
what
let's
happened
get
with
back
the
into it
prosecution.
because you're a liar. Why don't you tell them people about that Rico you promised them? With that dry ass wig.
Hey,
Tell them
Ron.
about that- tell them about that Rico you promised.
Let's get what
This is very meta.
You promised, Tisa.
This is very meta.
Tell them about
This
that.
argument is very meta.
Black Mirror, guys.
It's Black Mirror, right? Look at how we're all live streaming.
Cameras everywhere.
We're all live streaming.
Raping, baby.
Tisa's
Bad boy is
dancing.
back.
Tisa's
Bad boy is
dancing.
back.
So listen,
Bad boy
Ratchet's
is
yelling.
back, Tisa. You scrambling and scraping.
All right, you guys, kiss and make up.
Oh, she gotta stand on the line she told me.
listen.
Bad
So anyway,
boy.
right?
Bad boy.
Not the bad boy
Bad
chain.
boy. You bullied Diddy's entire family. Yeah, let's get back into it because you're a liar. Why don't you tell them people about that Rico you promised them? With that dry ass wig. Tell them about that Rico you promised them. Tell them about that Rico you promised them, Tisa. Tell them about that Rico you promised them, Tisa. Exactly. You gotta do that. You sweat.
Why was Tisa acting so weird on that clip? Why was she acting so, I don't know. She was just acting strangely weird to me.
Acting strangely weird. I would like to see anyone dealing with that level of public pressure and humiliation. And that guy, Murad Merali, he was right on board with the Jay-Z P. Diddy conspiracies. Why are they not having a go at him? We don't know what happened inside the court, but this tension has been building for weeks, and it's to do with who gets in the line and who has the most subscribers and who does the most super chats. The thing is, it always turns into who's broke, who's got the most money, who's got the best hair, who's old, who's overweight, who's got their lips done, or who's better looking. It is kind of cringe if you have to start insulting people to win your argument. And I did used to take part in Tisa Tells live chats. It did feel like a safe space, but then it got overwhelmed with pro-Diddy comments. Some people say they're bots. With these creators coming out of the woodwork like this, it kind of looks like they were real all along. It does feel very misogynist, and while I am not disagreeing that she may have exaggerated the level of threat she was feeling that she expressed on the Nancy Grace interview, Nancy Grace is not a serious journalist, and nor is none of these YouTube channels. They all want the same thing. They all want views. They all want super chats. And they were not there because they cared about accurate reporting or victims getting justice. They were there to make their channels look good and to get more views and be part of the drama. And I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, because I have made videos about another creator, BJ, who's involved in her own little drama at the Diddytrial, but I had personal experience with her, and it was a bit different because her whole channel was about being for the truth, and facts ain't defamation, and it just turned out to be a complete lie. She was deceiving her audience, and that's very manipulative. And I did months of research to find out where her trolls came from that she said were paid when they weren't. And that's mainly my problem with the Tisa Tells story, is I'm not seeing any research. This is all based on what other people have said, and it's mainly men leading it, because these male creators are attracting more men who hate women. Look how many male creators there were with huge followings that was making content about P. Diddy. Sean Atwood had nearly 1 million subs, and he had to delete 90% of his Diddy content. Sean Atwood has been in jail. He's been convicted of financial fraud. He's had a sex worker on his channel that he used to make money that he was in a relationship with. And then there was Andy Signal over on Popcorn Planet, who is a predator himself. The list goes on. But somehow this has become about a black woman who's not really black, according to them, bringing down a black man. It is amazing where in this age of documentation, where we have receipts, where you can go and look up what someone actually said, people are still falling for the same old narrative. And I'm going to say from my own experience, about 90% of channels do not care when you respond to their questions in comments, when you point out they've got something wrong, or try to have an intelligent conversation. That's why you got to go do your own research and stop financially supporting these people and believe in them. I don't see why Tisa Tells has to have her real name revealed. Why does she have to be doxed? Because she wanted a man to go to jail for abusing women and men. And at the same time, she wanted to make money like pretty much everyone else on YouTube. Anyway, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it.